Halloween! It is the beginning of week 5 of hashtag Crafty Hope prompts. I'm going to explain real quick what that is and we're going to get to it. So Crafty Hope prompts is something I decided to do, basically build my own prompt deck. I realized that there are 52 cards in a deck and 52 weeks in a year. So each Monday I am pulling 3 prompts from a jar and then altering a card with those prompts. On Saturday of each week, I am then doing a project with those 3 prompts that I pulled. So I'm getting kind of a twofer out of it, but really a threefer because at the end of the year, I'm going to have a full deck of prompts with 3 prompts on them, and I can use these any way I want, and I'm kind of excited about it. I have invited y'all to play along if you want. If you want to pull your own prompts, I have a link to the list of 156 prompts. That is 3 prompts a week, or you could split them up any way you want, or don't even bother. But if you do make something using that prompt list, just, use the hashtag Crafty Hope Prompts anywhere on social media. I will try to find you. Now, you can also play along by just using the prompts I pull each week. You can make your own prompt deck. You can do an art journal page. You can do what I'm doing in 2 projects a week. However, just use that hashtag. Those of you who have played along, oh my gosh, y'all are just making my weeks so happy. You have no idea. I had no idea so many of y'all would want to play with me and tag along on this. So I'm super excited and I have to thank you. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the prompts. We're gonna think of a few ideas for them. I'm gonna put aside my first 4 weeks of prompts and we're gonna, I'm just fiddling with stuff now. All right, let's give this a good shuffle here. And let's see, I'm trying to get just one out and not 2. Okay, that's just one. Stencil, okay. All right, y'all, that's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to use a stencil somehow, whether that is, I can use any medium with that unless I pull some kind of crazy medium out of here. Most everybody has a stencil. If you don't have a stencil, you can, of course, take a craft knife and cut out your own stencil. Yeah, I think you could also include a mask if you don't have stencils, but I mean, in general, a stencil's pretty, Dollar Trees have them, dollar stores have them. Like I said, you can make your own somehow. And there are all different kinds. There are ones that are like, the architecture ones like this. That's probably the only stencil I have near me right now. So, okay, so I think stencil's pretty easy. Lots of opportunities there. And prompt number 2 is going to be, oh my gosh. Okay, y'all, I almost want to just put this back. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this back because it says 2 or more stencils. So I'm going to cheat. I didn't want to have to do that, but because, I think that's just not right. So, all right, alcohol ink. Ooh, y'all. My goodness, I love using stencils with alcohol inks. So that is, there are lots of different brands out there. I believe I've got mostly the Tim Holtz Ranger ones, but I think I also have some maybe Bria Reese ones. If you don't have like straight up alcohol ink in the jar, you can take alcohol and put like a marker, but also keep in mind that things like Sharpies are alcohol inks. There are other alcohol ink markers. I think maybe are the Copics maybe alcohol ink based. I'm not sure. I know Sharpies are though. So if you've got a Sharpie, that is an alcohol ink. I think I have Sharpie in here maybe, but yeah. So there's some options for that. And y'all, I'm feeling real guilty about putting that one back, but I had to. It just doesn't match up. Okay, last one. And this is my challenge. I can do whatever I want, right? Ugh. Okay, last one. Crayon. Okay. Something in here fell. I don't know. Okay. Crayon. You can use straight up Crayola crayons, cheapo crayons. If you have art crayons, I can't think of any other way. I mean, these are pretty all straightforward. Like either you have them or you don't. Stencils you can definitely make. Alcohol ink you can kind of fudge with some other things. And crayon, I would just have to assume that everybody's got a crayon around somewhere. You could even use maybe a wax pencil or what do you call it, wax marker as a crayon, because it does have that waxy texture. Stabilo Woodies, I believe, the distressed crayons or crayons. I might have art crayon in here as well. But again, just basic Crayola wax crayons would work as well. Oh, y'all, I am thinking on this. All right, I'm gonna put this down, pull out my card, and we are going to get started on this in just a second. All right, y'all, I've gathered some things, and since it's Halloween, I'm kind of gonna go in that vein. So for my stencil, I went with my most Halloween stencil, which is this spiderweb one from Tim Holtz. I'm surprised I even have this one, because y'all, if you watched my 4-core this month, you know I don't like spiders, but spider webs I think I can work with. For alcohol ink, I pulled out some Halloween-y colors, an orange, a purple, and a lime. And then I've got my trusty pack of Crayola crayons. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet, but we'll see. I also got my jelly plate, because that's how I like to combine alcohol ink and stencil. So I think I'm going to do that. And then I pulled out, because I haven't used any of them this year, are some of my favorite Halloween stamps. So I am hoping maybe to use those as a focal, but I don't know which one yet. So I've just got them all here. So I'm going to get started, I suppose. I began with my little jelly plate and my alcohol inks. So I'm putting down the citrus, purple twilight, and then I'll also use the Valencia. Those are the alcohol inks I pulled out for this one. And I started with the citrus because it was the lighter of them. And then I am putting my stencil. So I just put those first two, that purple and the green, down. And I'm putting that down, and then once my stencil's down, I'm adding that orange. And I'm going to kind of splash that around a bit. And I'm trying to make sure my stencil is stuck to my jelly plate. There's not a whole lot of surface area on that one for it to contact the jelly plate, so I was struggling a little bit. So I'll grab my brayer and just make sure that some of that is coating it. It was just an extra step I didn't have to take. And then I'm going to let that dry. Once that's dry, I pull up my stencil, and I'm going to let it dry a little bit more, because what was under the stencil wasn't quite dry yet. See, so I'm trying to dry it. I pushed it off to the side while it's drying and decided to go ahead and pull out those stamps, and picked out 3 that I really like. First is this one with a couple of little like potion bottles on it. And each of these I am stamping 3 times. I'm just using some Stays On ink, and this is just copy paper, y'all. I cut you can see I've just got these little strips, cut it off of something else that I wasn't using. Yeah. So I'm going to stamp a couple of these, and the reason I'm doing several of them is in case one of these blurred or I mess up, or so I don't have to pull everything back out and restamp them. So the second one's going to be this pumpkin, and then the third one is, you'll see it, it's the number 31 with wings on it. And yeah, I am getting these down. I still wasn't completely sure how I was going to use them, but those are ones I knew would fit on my card. And also these first 2, I knew that I could color, actually all 3 of them, I knew I could color in with my crayons. So there was that idea. So I was just kind of playing with this, and these stamps are all, yeah, I think they're just ones from, I don't know the brand. I think it's like Artful Minds, or it's like a Michael's brand of stamps, I believe, for all of them. I know I bought most of them on clearance. I think this set I may not have, because I really loved it. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, y'all, I love anything with wings. Oh, and I only stamped that one twice, because I really wasn't sure how I was going to use it. So I was just like, I just want to stamp it. And now I'm putting down a little bit of white acrylic paint on top of my alcohol inked jelly plate there. And I'm going to make sure it's not too thick on there. I just need something to back it. And then I've got a piece of dictionary paper. You can see this is excess from something else. And y'all, I just can't let it go to waste. So I'm spraying that down, making sure the whole surface gets rubbed really nice so I can pick up that image really well. And then it comes up and I can see that that orange is super red orange and I'm not really loving it. So I'm going to do it again. And instead of the Valencia, I'm using sunset orange. And I'm going to do this in a different order. I'm going to put the purple and the orange down and then top it with the citrus. And I'm doing it the exact same way I did. I don't think I brayered this one. Oh, I brayered it here, but not when I put not when I put the citrus on. So I've got those two colors down. I'm flipping it over because when I did the stencil before, I had it face up, which means any words that come out are going to be backwards. And not that it matters because I'm not going to use the words down there at the bottom, but eventually if I, the excess of this that I end up not using I might want those words. Does that make sense? Okay. So y'all, I love Halloween and I kind of hate that I'm just now getting a Halloween project in. If you saw, I've got a candy corn poof ball project I did earlier this week or last week. And yeah, it's super cute and I can't believe that this and that are pretty much the only Halloween projects I've done this year. I don't know. I think I've been so focused on doing these cards that I haven't really gotten to think about Halloween. So I'm going to put it in my head that next year I'm going to start earlier. I do love Halloween and the spookiness. If you saw how many cards I had there and my birthday being exactly a week before Halloween, it is probably my favorite holiday. So October is my favorite and I hate to see it come to an end, but got to keep moving forward, right? So I colored in one of those pumpkins with an orange crayon, and then I'm going to do two of these little potion jars, one in purple and one in that lime green. So I'm kind of sticking with a similar color theme here. And I'm going to end up only using one of those potion bottles, but I went ahead and colored two because I didn't know what I was going to do yet. I'm just trying to, plan ahead, be prepared, whatever. And I'm not going to make you watch me color all of these because you understand how coloring works. Now my alcohol ink is dried a little bit, so I've picked up my stencil and then I'm going to let the alcohol ink dry a little bit more. So I pushed it aside and I let that dry for a second and then I'm coming back again with my white acrylic paint and I had far too much on that one. A little heavy-handed, so I'm making sure I get plenty of that off. And I'll use that same dictionary paper again and get this image up. And y'all, I love this one so much more. I don't know. I think it's just I was not expecting that Valencia to be so red, even though I've got like a swab of it on the top of the bottle. I'm still going to use it. But I like this one so much more. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these onto my cards. I'm putting one of them on one side and not cards on my card. So one on one side, one on the other, and just using some matte gel medium to get them down. Now, when I go to stick this first one down, y'all, I wasn't even thinking that I wasn't sure I was going to line it up because I couldn't see it. So I have to reposition it a couple times trying to get it so that all of that image from the stenciling alcohol gel print is on there. So the second one I will cut down so I can find the edge. Pro tip here. And I am just tearing the edges of this because it being kind of in the middle of that dictionary page gave me enough to have a handhold. So how is your Halloween going? Are you dressing up? Are you trick-or-treating? Are you giving out candy this evening? I don't know what my plans are yet. I usually go over to my mom's, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen this year because we don't have trick-or-treaters in my neighborhood. We live way out in the country, way down at the end of a long driveway, and we just don't get them out here. All of our lots in this neighborhood are 5-acre lots, so we're spaced out quite a bit. But the thing is even in my other neighborhood, we didn't have trick-or-treaters because there were only like 16 houses in the whole neighborhood. So any kids went to other neighborhoods to trick-or-treat. So for years, I've just gone to my mom's to help her with it. But did you dress up? Did you do anything fun for Halloween? I'd love to know. All right, so I got those stuck down, trimmed down, and now I am going to look at my little stamped images. I decided that the top of those bottles needed, the cork needed some color. So I'm going to pull up my brown crayon. And y'all, I have a thing for crayons. It's one of my favorite smells in the world. During when they put the school supplies out each year, I will go into stores and open boxes of crayons and sniff them. Because I get so excited about, I don't know, office supplies and school supplies and all of that and crayons. Oh, a fresh box of crayons, y'all. And when I pulled these out, I totally sniffed them. Big inhale. I love the smell of them. So I fussy cut out one of my bottles and my pumpkin and then the wings from that 31. And I went looking and found I had this little girl, and it's a pack of paper dolls I think had a Halloween theme to them from Tim Holtz. So I pulled this one girl out, and then I have the chipboard quotes or the chip quotes from Tim Holtz that are the black ones that are Halloween inspired, and found one that said Hocus Pocus, which I thought was fun. And then I'm just inking up the edges of all of these, trying to, especially since my fussy cutting is okay, it's not great. I wanted to kind of get any white that I left on them kind of out and away. So I'm decided to do it to the girl. I'm just using walnut stain distress ink. And I did cut down my prompts here, and I'm going to go ahead and color them. These are the first ones I've really kind of altered in any way. So I'm just adding some distress ink to them. Yeah, I don't know where my words went all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about sniffing crayons, I think. Thank goodness you don't get like woozy from that. So, because I would be ill. All right, so once I've got all of this inked up, I'm going to put my ink away and start assembling this. So I've got these wings, and I am going to grab my Oohoo glue stick and just put it on the edge of the wings and stick it on my girl. I want her to look like she's kind of in a costume, so I figured she could be a bit of a fairy. And she's going to be sitting on my pumpkin, so I guess she can be like my pumpkin fairy. I don't know. I just found her and thought, well, she's sitting on something. Oh, what if she's sitting on my pumpkin? And yeah, she works perfectly. So I kind of line all that up and use my Ooh glue stick again to stick all of it down. And I'm loving this, y'all. That spider web almost, it looks like broken glass too. And I kind of love that. I don't know. It's super neat. And the colors worked out really well, especially on this side. But we've still got the other side. And I think the orange red on the other side is fine. It's kind of a bloody orange, like blood orange color. It is Valencia. They're not blood orange though. Anyway, so I've got my little Hocus Pocus chip quote. I'm going to peel off some of that backing and kind of bend it. And when I bend it, some of the white pokes through, so it's got kind of a crackly effect to it. And then I'm going to glue it down with my Oohoo glue stick. And for the most part, I'm done with this side of my card. Now, when I'm doing these cards, I am altering both sides. One is my decorative side, this side, and one side I'm considering my functional side, which is the side that will have my prompts on it. And I am making sure on these cards that I put what number week it is. So I thought that little jar that I colored would be perfect place to put the number 5. So I put that on the label of that little purple jar before I glued it down. And then I'm going to glue down each of these prompts. Like I said, this is my functional side. And then I decided to bring the crayons back in again because I like to kind of frame up these words a little bit. So I'm going to go around and I got stuff because my desk is dirty, got stuff on my girl, but that's fine. I think that adds to her spookiness a little bit. So you use the black crayon to go around each of these prompts. And then I'm going to grab my Stabilo all pencil in black and go around those frames. And that's where it hits me that, oh my gosh, y'all, crayons are wax and they are like a resist. And that could be super fun to play with here for my project this week. So I haven't quite decided what my project will be this week. I'm going to think on it. But thinking about crayons being wax and being a resist is kind of fun.
So I wonder how it would do with alcohol inks. Ooh, maybe playing with that. We'll see. So I'm also going to add a little bit of the Stabilo over on the front side just to give the girl a little bit more shadow. And then I realized that the back of her head being stark white on my prompt side bothers me, so I add a little more crayon and Stabilo all to kind of make that disappear a little. And that is it for week five's prompt card. We are using, what are we using? Stencils, alcohol ink, and crayons. I hope you find some way to have this inspire you and you will play along. Make sure to use that hashtag CraftyHopePrompts so I can see what you made. Or if you're pulling your own prompts, that's great too. Just, put that hashtag there so I can see it. All right, guys. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a fabulous Halloween, and I will see y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.